Hello everybody and welcome back. This time around we're going to be looking at another mod that has been on the books for quite some time and that I did a couple of videos. So we're going to be taking a look at my Gilneas zone. But first, before we continue, for those of you who are just a little bit curious as to what's going on, in terms of the Suramar Ancient Elven City, that'll come pretty soon. More videos on that will follow, as well as the High Elven Zone, which I've also had a lot of people ask me questions about. There's a bug in that area right now. There's been a bug in that area for quite some time. It's the oldest area that I've worked with, so the previous versions of the software kind of messed things up. Aside from that, I think it's a problem that can be fixed. Right now, I just don't know how to take care of it. I've done a couple of tests and nothing has fixed it so far. Alright, so here we are. We're in the Gilneas area, as you had seen before. Not much has changed because I really haven't had a chance to really go at it with the terrain, so I won't be looking too much into the external area of the map, just because it's pretty much, if you want to see what's up with that, just look at the previous version. I did continue working on this map. As you can see, the ground effects are still kind of like just messed up. I need to find something that'll properly match the grass. But that's easy enough to do. I just haven't been able to do it so far. So here we are at the beginning of what is sort of like the Gilneas city. I used the northern buildings because they're the ones that look sort of the most like the buildings of Gilneas. Of course, they have their differences. You'll notice another thing that I changed is the flag. That is what the Gilneas flag traditionally looked like before. I mean, if you go to Wikipedia, you'll see it. So I saw the flag, and I put the original flag, the one, not the original. I put the flag from the flag design from Cataclysm in there, and it just didn't look right. This area is different, so you know what? I decided to go with the old version of the flag. That you can still see on the crest, and that's working fine. Another thing that I actually did, which I sort of waltzed into, is this has to have like a bit of like a Victorian and almost a little bit like sort of a Lordaeron old sort of human architecture type of thing. And so this park has been completely fenced off, and it looks great. It actually just adds to the city. Now, mind you, this will look a lot different once I add more doodads and whatnot. But so far, it's looking good. So we go through this area. We have, of course, the barracks there that are sort of the central building. We have banners across the land. We've got more fences, and this sort of gives it an interesting thing. An interesting detail is what I meant. So, if you were to go to some of these things, you'll find like outhouses and other sort of like cheeky elements. More details that we might look into. But this is sort of just the general effect or effort, I guess you would call it. So here, of course, we have from this side of the city, we have the Gilneas barracks, and this area, of course, will have like some sort of flight path that's been established here. And through this area, as you can see, it's kind of plain. So I do have to do some detail work like I did on the other side, and potentially fix some things. I think these things are out of scale, so I need to make sure to fix them. And there's going to be some sort of market here. There's sort of plenty of things to be sort of dealt with in this area. We'll probably put some trees as well, because trees are kind of vital to make a city look alright. And then there's a bridge here in this area. This you'd all seen previously. You got some planks that lead out of there, so that's another a place that you can go in the city. But so far, so good. There's going to be an extension of the same style of work done on this part of the this part of the park, and I think that over here where I have this tent and these tents, I'll actually remove those, and I'll put sort of what do you call it, where you hang people? It's not a galley. Anyways, the term escapes me right now. But I'll most likely put one of those just to make it a little bit more macabre, could be the correct term. I'm still undecided as to, you know, if there's any elements should go there. We'll have to take it easy and try and figure it out. But yeah, when you look through these areas here, it looks pretty good, pretty grim, pretty gray, but also pretty Victorian. I think so, and that's really the objective here is to make it look Victorian. Now I'm actually just gonna fly so that I can so that we can actually take a look at the city from a little bit more of a height, and a little more height. And you know, like it said, it's inspired in Gilneas. It's not the you know, the real thing, but you know, there's been a lot of work into you know, making the mountains, you know, the little towns. I did actually plan this on paper. I looked at the area, I stretched out what was in vanilla WoW, and thought, how can I actually extend this to have like several micro environments? So we have, of course, in the distance you have the Forsaken ships, and then we have obviously numerous lighthouses that are sort of indicating for other ships. We've got the manor, and this is probably going to be Greymane Manor, which you've already seen quite a bit of. There's another house here. Unfortunately, this area is not accessible yet because it's in a dark water terrain. And here we have another town, another little town, and this is sort of more properly misty, sort of more Gilnean. And the skies. We'll edit the skies, is one of the last things that I want to do. We have, you know, the forests and the mists, and in some other areas like the graveyard, we have even more sort of like interesting elements. So yeah, so that's it so far for the Gilneas, for the Gilneas map, for the Gilneas mod. We'll come back to it, we'll look at some of the details, possibly start putting down some NPCs, but I think we'll be fine. Likewise, like I said, we'll be going back and looking at some of the Night Elf cities and city mod, the Surmar mod. We'll be looking at the High Elven area as soon as I can fix the bugs on that. Or if you guys know how to deal with model duplication, give me a shout out, because you know, you might actually be able to help me. So having said that, I hope you're all fine. I hope you're all great. Stay tuned, because more videos will be coming down the line. So until next time, everybody, bye bye.